Construction Techniques in the 1830s. From the February 5, 1899 issue of the Gate City of Keokuk, Iowa. Note, how happy they were with a simple life, limited food selection and few possessions. In the construction of our log houses no nail or sound of the hammer was heard. The wooden pin was our sole reliance. So used to the pin had we become, wagon makers pinned the spokes into the hub. So honest and faithful was this done that we have worked 3 or 4 hours to free a hub of its spokes. Little capital was tied up in wagons, a sled would do us in the mud or for what little snow fell in our region. In dry weather a truck would do, made entirely of wood, not an ounce of iron was invested or used on it. For motive power we used oxen largely, their yokes of the present pattern, with a ring and staple of hickory. We often used the oxen to plow, both single and double. We have seen an ox hitched to a plow and all the harness, from the clevis to the collar, made of hickory withes except the back band, that was rawhide. Our schools were taught in deserted houses temporarily repaired for the purpose. The seats were benches without backs and all of the same height for young and old. If a child's legs were not long enough for his feet to reach the floor they could dangle in midair. If we raised wheat we threshed it sometimes with the flail, but usually by tramping it out with horses or oxen. We chose an elevated spot of ground where the water could run off if it rained, set a post down, pinned a light piece of wood 5 or 6 feet long loosely so it would revolve, hitched a pair of horses or oxen to the outer end, covered the floor with bundles and went to threshing. When we were through threshing we cleaned out most of the straw, waited for a good wind, took it little at a time, mounted a box and poured it down before the wind. Thus we cleaned our grain. Our traveling was done either on horseback or with horse and oxen team. The wagon was a clumsy affair, with the tread 6 inches wider than is used at the present time. The tongue was 12 feet long. Instead of the neck yoke, chains reached from the end of the tongue back to the harness. The tongue and harness were fastened together, no joint is at present. When the wagon was idle, careful men propped up the tongue with forked sticks to keep it from sagging. If the near forward wheel struck an obstruction the near horse got a sock dolger, sometimes nearly knocking him off his feet. Ditto for the left wheel. Of roads we had none worthy of the name. We had wagon tracks upon which people traveled. The coach carried what little mail there was used then. When any part of the road became gullied out or a tree fell across it, we made a new track. We were a patient and satisfied people with our hog and hominy, linsey pantaloons, warmers for winter and a toe change for summer. We were as happy and contented as a half-starved colt on the sunny side of a haystack on a warm day in April.